Hi everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a quick little video. This video is really meant to augment my first video, video number 1, where I did an introduction to Charlie. If you remember back in that video, I was explaining to you that Cyber 1 was talking about changing the angle of the arm on the dog. And I told you I was going to look into that and study that a little bit more and decide what I was going to do with it. Well, with time and more information, I agree with Cyber 1 that that leg really needs to be moved. So I did it. And what I want to do here is just a quick short video just to show you how I did it. So you can adapt your dog if you so desire. With that, let's get started. Now, by way of quick review, we originally started out with the shoulder servo at 90 degrees, so we'll leave it at that. And then the arm servo here was installed at 90 degrees, placing that leg straight down. And then the wrist servo was either going to be 0 or 180 degrees, depending on which side of the robot you were on. Now, Cyber 1 says he needed more space to keep the robot balanced during the sit-up and the stand-up commands. So he moved the arm to the 45-degree angle, like you see my dog here illustrating. So I wanted to show you how I did that. My next few videos are going to start with the leg assemblies disassembled. I've unscrewed them here from the body and laid them down, taken them apart. But then I keep them as an assembly to begin with, and you'll see why here in the next slide. So I pulled that leg off and I laid it down, and of course it doesn't want to sit flat and wobbles because of the way everything's built and designed. So I used my torpedo level and just set it under there, and that made everything kind of balanced and flat and steadied itself, and I didn't have to hold anything in place. Got the use of both my hands. Now, my objective here is to show you how I made these lines right here. These are the secret to my alignment. So let's start with a point of reference. This point right here is vertical, or horizontal I should say, to the back of the dog. So let's back up for just one quick second. You can see that, right? This angle here is parallel with this angle. So I start with that as a reference point. And I need then a line that's perpendicular to that surface there. So to get that line, I use the square. Now, my square in this picture is offset a little bit off that line, and that's so you can see the line. If I put the square up there, you kind of miss the whole point. So I used the edge of the square and, of course, squared myself up with the top of the shoulder. And then I used this edge down the center line of the servo right here, and I drew my reference line. That gave me my 90-degree mark off of the center line. Next, I needed to create that 45-degree angle. So I got my adjustable square. I'll move myself here a little bit. You can see this has an electronic readout here, and I set that for 45 degrees. Again, the square is set off to one side so you can see my reference marks. So I used this edge and I aligned up with my 90-degree parallel or perpendicular line, and I take that point right there and I make it the center point right there of my servo. With this edge then aligned, that gave me a 45-degree mark down through here. And I held that as my reference, and then I just mechanically moved my leg until I got this edge and this edge parallel. Then I knew I was on the center line of the arm, and I stroked my line here. Gave myself a reference point now for my 45 degrees. Once I did that, I made a mechanical witness mark. You can see it here, right? That point is on the movable arm. And this is, of course, on the shoulder piece. So now I have a way I can move that servo off and bring it back to the same place, that 45-degree angle. So all this has just been mechanical alignment. Nothing electrical up to this point. With this mechanical alignment obtained, I've flipped this unit upside down. That exposes the spline on the arm servo. Now, with the black piece out here, I hooked my wiring up to my little servo tester, and I set it to 90 degrees. So this is where the alignment happens, right? I set the servo to 90 with the arm mechanically aligned at 45 degrees. Then I drop the black piece back in and secure it with a screw. So I have my arm now mechanically aligned and electrically aligned. Then I remounted the shoulder servo. I took the shoulder servo then, and I put it back into the I don't know what you want to call that piece. I forgot the name of it. But the piece that mounts to the body of the dog. And I stuck the spline of that servo up through the hole. And then electrically I hooked it up. And I set the shoulder servo at 90 degrees. And I took this little black piece and I dropped it in the hole. Now remember the mechanical alignment here. This is electrically at 90 with the shoulder parallel to this edge. Then you drop this black piece in and secure it with the screw. Well, being the world as it really is, you never quite get that perfect. Here you can see I ended up with this not quite parallel when I got everything dropped in. That's okay. Get it as close as you can. You can adjust that with the software offsets. And that, guys, is basically all I had to do to get that servo alignment and that mechanical alignment for the leg, or for the arm, I should say. And then reassemble, and I ended up with a robot that looked like that, with all my arms now set at 45 degrees. It wasn't too terribly difficult. Just took a little effort to, disassemble and move things around a bit. Went back together real easy. Had fun. I hope you do. With that said, let's shut it down, and I'll see you again shortly when I get into some more of the alignment here in short order. Have a good day. Bye-bye.